Can we trust the Bible if we can't hear God's voice? Is faith based on ancient words or something deeper within us? This question challenges the core of our beliefs.
Heaven's holy ones keep the Sabbath. Heaven's holy ones keep Sabbath. Sinners keep man's calendar. Everyone claims to follow God, but few follow his time. He blessed one day, the seventh. Man replaced it with his own. Genesis 2:3. God blessed the seventh day and made it holy. Revelation 14:12. Here are they that keep the commandments of God. The calendar of heaven still points to his Sabbath. You can't walk with heaven while following man's schedule. Return to the day God sanctified. Heaven's time never changed. We did.
If Jesus was created, how can he be Lord of the Sabbath, the fourth commandment written with God's own eternal finger? Prove me wrong. The Sabbath commandment in Exodus 20:8-11 roots itself in creation. For in 6 days the Lord made heaven and earth, and rested the seventh day. John 1:3 says, All things were made by him, and without him was not anything made that was made. If Jesus created everything, he cannot be a created being. In Matthew 12:8, Jesus declares, The Son of Man is Lord even of the Sabbath day. You can't be Lord over an eternal commandment if you yourself are not eternal. Psalm 111:7-8 says, All his commandments are sure, they stand fast forever and ever. So skeptics, Jehovah's Witnesses, Muslims, atheists, anyone, if Jesus is merely created, explain how he rules over an eternal law that only God can give. Challenge, prove me wrong. If Jesus was created, how can he be Lord of the Sabbath, the fourth commandment written with God's own eternal finger? Prove me wrong. The Sabbath commandment in Exodus 20:8-11 roots itself in creation. For in 6 days the Lord made heaven and earth, and rested the seventh day. John 1:3 says, All things were made by him, and without him was not anything made that was made. If Jesus created everything, he cannot be a created being. In Matthew 12:8, Jesus declares, The Son of Man is Lord even of the Sabbath day. You can't be Lord over an eternal commandment if you yourself are not eternal. Psalm 111:7-8 says, All his commandments are sure, they stand fast forever and ever. So skeptics, Jehovah's Witnesses, Muslims, atheists, anyone, if Jesus is merely created, explain how he rules over an eternal law that only God can give. Challenge, prove me wrong.
The Sabbath is the crown jewel of divine law. It sits at the center of the 10 Commandments, the only one written with both God's name and authority. It declares who he is, the Creator, and what gives him the right to command. Remove the Sabbath, and the law loses its seal. Keep it, and you carry heaven's signature on your life. The Sabbath isn't just a day of rest. It's the mark of allegiance to the King who made heaven and earth. Did you know the Sabbath was never changed by Jesus? That might sound surprising, but let's look at what the scriptures actually say. For centuries, people have debated whether the Sabbath moved from Saturday to Sunday. But when you read the Gospels, you see Jesus consistently observing the Sabbath just as it was established from the beginning. He healed on the Sabbath. He taught on the Sabbath. But he never once said, Let's move this day. The shift to Sunday worship actually happened much later, for various historical and cultural reasons, not because of a divine command from Jesus or the apostles. It was a change made by religious institutions over time. So, if we're looking to follow Jesus' example, it's worth asking, are we observing the day he observed? Thanks for watching. If this sparked a new thought for you, please like, share, and subscribe for more content that dives deep into the scriptures. See you next time. Hey everyone, have you ever thought about what makes you you? We often think it's our job, our hobbies, or our family, but what if there's a deeper, more ancient marker of our identity? Think about a fingerprint. It's a unique mark of who you are, right? The Bible presents the Sabbath, a day of rest, in a similar way. It's described as a special sign, a divine fingerprint, that sets God's people apart. It's not just about taking a break from work. It's a deliberate act of remembering who we are and whose we are. When we neglect this sacred rhythm of rest, it's like smudging that fingerprint. We risk losing a vital piece of our spiritual identity, getting lost in the constant hustle of the world. By honoring this day, we reconnect with our Creator and reaffirm our truest selves. Thanks for watching. If this resonated with you, please like, share, and subscribe for more content. See you next time. Hey everyone, have you ever thought about what makes you you? We often think it's our job, our hobbies, or our family, but what if there's a deeper, more ancient marker of our identity? Think about a fingerprint. It's a unique mark of who you are, right? The Bible presents the Sabbath, a day of rest, in a similar way. It's described as a special sign, a divine fingerprint, that sets God's people apart. It's not just about taking a break from work. It's a deliberate act of remembering who we are and whose we are. When we neglect this sacred rhythm of rest, it's like smudging that fingerprint. We risk losing a vital piece of our spiritual identity, getting lost in the constant hustle of the world. By honoring this day, we reconnect with our Creator and reaffirm our truest selves. Thanks for watching. If this resonated with you, please like, share, and subscribe for more content. See you next time. Hey everyone, have you ever thought about what it truly means to follow Jesus? It's more than just believing in Him. It's about embracing His entire life and teachings. One of the most beautiful gifts He gave us is the Sabbath, a day set apart for rest, connection, and spiritual renewal. In the Bible, Jesus Himself honored the Sabbath. It was His custom. He didn't come to abolish this sacred time, but to show us its true purpose, a day for healing, for family, and for drawing closer to God. When we embrace the Sabbath, we're not just following a rule. We're accepting an invitation from Jesus to experience a deeper peace and a richer relationship with Him. Loving Jesus means loving what He loved. So, why not explore this incredible gift of the Sabbath for yourself? You might find it's the blessing your soul has been longing for. Thanks for watching. If this resonated with you, please like, share, and subscribe for more content. See you next time. Breaking Sabbath. Rejecting the Creator. Breaking Sabbath equals rejecting the Creator's authority. He wrote it with His own finger, not a pastor, not a prophet, God Himself, on stone. Yet many erase the one command that begins with, remember. Exodus 31:13. It is a sign between me and you. When you ignore the Sabbath, you reject the sign that He's your Creator. Satan didn't need to destroy faith. Just switch the day, and millions followed man instead of God. Return to the Creator's day, because the Sabbath isn't just rest, it's allegiance.
Why the Sabbath is the heart of the judgment. If the law is in heaven's sanctuary, then so is the fourth commandment. Exodus 22:8. Remember the Sabbath day, to keep it holy. Revelation 14:7 calls you to worship the Creator. Genesis 2 shows how He was worshipped by resting on the seventh day. When judgment began in 1844, heaven didn't change the law. It started testing who would keep it. The Sabbath isn't legalism, it's loyalty. In a world that honors tradition, God is looking for a people who honor His word. The judgment is not about what you claimed, it's about what you chose. And Sabbath obedience is the test.
Ever wonder about the difference between Sunday and the Sabbath? It's a question that has sparked curiosity for centuries. Many people think of Sunday as the day of worship, a tradition that has deep roots in history. It's often called Man's Day, a time set aside for church services, family gatherings, and rest. But the original Sabbath, as described in the Bible, is actually the seventh day of the week, Saturday. It's presented not just as a day of rest, but as God's eternal covenant, a special sign between Him and His people forever. It's a weekly reminder of creation and deliverance. So, one is a widely practiced tradition, and the other is a perpetual sacred appointment. Understanding the history and meaning behind both days can really enrich our spiritual journey. What are your thoughts on this? Let me know in the comments. And if you found this interesting, please like and subscribe for more. Thanks for watching. Have you ever wondered why most of the world worships on Sunday when the Bible clearly points to the seventh day, Saturday, as the Sabbath? It's a question that can really make you think. The scriptures tell us that God rested on the seventh day and made it holy. Even in heaven, as described in the Bible, this divine appointment seems to be honored. So, where did the switch to Sunday come from? It wasn't a change made by Jesus or the apostles. It's a tradition that developed much later in history. This isn't about judging anyone, but about exploring the roots of our faith and understanding the original command. What do you think about this? Let's discuss it respectfully in the comments. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more deep dives into biblical truths. See you next time. The Sabbath is the pulse of divine relationship. It beats once every 7 days, the rhythm of heaven's heart. When God rested, he invited humanity into that rest, not as servants, but as sons and daughters. Each Sabbath is a reminder that we're not defined by labor, but by love. It's time carved out for communion, creator and creation breathing in sync. Break that rhythm, and the connection weakens. Keep it, and your soul finds its heartbeat again. Because the Sabbath isn't just a command, it is the living pulse of relationship with God. Hey everyone, have you ever felt like you're constantly running on a hamster wheel with endless to-do lists and deadlines? It's so easy to get caught up in the hustle and believe that we are the absolute masters of our own time. We schedule every minute, trying to optimize and control our lives. But what if I told you there's a powerful practice that challenges this very idea? It's the concept of the Sabbath. When we choose to step back, to rest, and to dedicate a day not to our own ambitions, but to something greater, it forces us to ask a crucial question. Who truly rules our time? Is it our own relentless drive, or is it a trust in a divine plan? Taking a Sabbath isn't about legalism. It's a declaration of freedom. It's saying, I trust that the world will keep spinning even if I stop. It reveals whether our ultimate authority is our schedule or our Creator. Thanks for watching. If this resonated with you, please like, subscribe, and share your thoughts in the comments below. See you next time. The Sabbath wasn't nailed to the cross. Sin was. When Jesus died, he didn't abolish obedience. He fulfilled it. The cross erased guilt, not God's law. If sin is breaking the commandments, then grace restores us to keep them. Christ rested in the tomb on the Sabbath. Even in death, he honored it. The stone was rolled away on the first day, but holiness still belongs to the seventh. Calvary didn't cancel God's law. It proved its price. Because what was nailed to the cross was our sin, not his standard. The Sabbath reveals heaven's citizens before judgment begins. Before the final verdict is spoken, heaven already knows who stands loyal. The Sabbath is more than rest. It's a sign of allegiance, a seal of creation, a test of faith. Revelation 14:12 describes them clearly. Here are they that keep the commandments of God and the faith of Jesus. While the world follows custom, heaven watches for covenant keepers. The seventh day becomes the line that separates worship from rebellion. Before judgment opens its books, the Sabbath exposes who truly belongs to the kingdom. They say the Sabbath was only for the Jews, but open your Bible. In Genesis 2:2-3, before there was ever a Jew, before Abraham, before Moses, at the very creation of the world, God blessed the seventh day and sanctified it. The Sabbath isn't Jewish, it's God's. Jesus himself declared in Mark 2:27, the Sabbath was made for man, not just for Israel, not just for one race, but for all humanity. If the Sabbath was created thousands of years before the Jewish nation even existed, how can anyone say it belongs only to them? The Sabbath is God's eternal gift to mankind. So when you hear people say the Sabbath is Jewish, what do you say? Let me know in the comment section. And don't forget to share this video so that more people can know the truth about the Sabbath. Hey everyone, have you ever heard someone say the Sabbath was only given to Israel at Mount Sinai? It's a common belief. But let's take a closer look at the Bible. It might surprise you. Long before the Ten Commandments were dramatically delivered at Sinai, the Israelites were already observing the Sabbath. Turn with me to Exodus chapter 16. The people are in the wilderness, and God provides manna from heaven. In verse 23, Moses tells them that the sixth day is for preparation because the seventh day is the Sabbath of holy rest to the Lord. Think about that. They were already keeping the Sabbath before the law was given on the mountain. In fact, when some went out to gather manna on the seventh day, God asked, "How long do you refuse to keep my commandments and my laws?" This clearly shows the Sabbath was an existing commandment. So, if you believe the Sabbath started at Sinai, how do you explain this? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. If this gave you something new to think about, please like, share, and subscribe for more deep dives into the scriptures. Thanks for watching. Have you ever wondered about the difference between what heaven declares and what earth decides? It's a huge contrast, especially when it comes to one of God's most specific commands. God said, "Remember the Sabbath day to keep it holy." That wasn't a suggestion, it was a clear instruction. Heaven still recognizes the seventh day, the very day God blessed and made sacred right at creation. It's a timeless appointment with our Creator. But somewhere along the way, humanity got out its eraser. The world's calendar shifted, and what God called holy became just another day of the week for many, optional, not essential. A divine truth was replaced by human habit. Think about it. What heaven calls sacred, the world often treats as a mere suggestion, but when all is said and done, only God's standard will remain. He declared the seventh day holy, and that truth stands forever. Thanks for watching. If this resonated with you, please like, share, and subscribe for more content that dives deep into timeless truths. Have you ever wondered why so many people go to church on Sunday when the Bible talks about the Sabbath? This is a question that has puzzled many for centuries. The Bible is clear that the seventh day is the Sabbath, a special time set apart for rest and worship. It's described as a sign of loyalty, a weekly reminder of God's creation and our relationship with Him. So, where did Sunday worship come from? History shows it was a change made long after the time of the apostles, blending ancient traditions with faith. Understanding this history can truly open your eyes to the original practices found in the scriptures. It's a fascinating journey back to the roots of our faith. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more deep dives into biblical truths. Thanks for watching. Have you ever stopped to think about what the Sabbath truly means? Is it just a day of rules and restrictions, a long list of don'ts handed down through tradition? Or is it something more? The Sabbath was designed as a gift, a special time to connect with God, to rest, and to rejuvenate. But sometimes human traditions can overshadow the divine intention. They can turn a day of freedom into a burden. So, the question becomes, who is your master? Is it the living God who desires a relationship with you, or is it the rigid traditions of men? The Sabbath reveals the answer. It invites us to choose a relationship over ritual and freedom over legalism. Think about it. What will your choice be? Thanks for watching. If this resonated with you, please like, share, and subscribe for more content. Without Sabbath obedience, your worship becomes man-made noise. Worship isn't measured by volume. It's measured by obedience. The songs, the sermons, the gatherings mean nothing if they reject the day God declared holy. Isaiah 29:13 says, "They honor me with their lips, but their hearts are far from me." To ignore the Sabbath is to sing out of tune with heaven. Real worship isn't emotion, it's alignment. Because obedience is the melody God listens for, and the Sabbath is the note that keeps your soul in harmony with the Creator. Have you ever thought about what makes something truly special, a sign of a deep connection? In the hustle of our daily lives, we often miss the signs that matter most. There's a concept that's been around for thousands of years, a special invitation to pause and connect. It's called the Sabbath. Imagine it not just as a day off, but as a deliberate sign, a weekly appointment with peace, reflection, and spiritual renewal. The phrase, "no Sabbath, no sign," suggests that by missing this day, we miss a crucial symbol of our faith and relationship with the Creator. And "no sign, no salvation" takes it a step further, linking this observance to our ultimate spiritual journey. It's a powerful idea, that this one day is a profound sign of our identity and our hope. It's more than just a tradition. It's a lifeline. What does this sign mean to you? Thanks for watching. If you found this thought-provoking, please like, subscribe, and share your thoughts in the comments below. Do you ever feel like you're stuck on a hamster wheel? Work, chores, errands. It's a never-ending cycle, right? Many people hear the word Sabbath and think of rigid rules and restrictions. But what if I told you it's not about bondage, but about breaking free? Think about it. The world system demands constant productivity, endless hustle. It tells us our value is tied to what we produce. The Sabbath is a radical act of defiance against that system. It's a weekly declaration of independence. It's a day gifted to us to stop, to rest, to reconnect with ourselves, our loved ones, and our Creator. It's not about a list of don'ts, but a powerful do. Rest and be restored. It's freedom from the pressure to perform. It's permission to just be. This isn't bondage. It's a taste of true liberation. If this idea resonates with you, give this video a thumbs up and subscribe for more. Thanks for watching.